Hey good people, welcome to the channel. I'm Musically Malnourished and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. Today, we are ranking every song from Kanye West's Late Registration. Now I've had a good bit of time to listen through this album many times, and especially sitting down and going through it and making notes. Now I do this in a numbered system because if I did it in a tier list, there'd be so many that are like, on B, so many on A, so many on S. So this really forces me to kind of listen and feel and all of that after sitting with the album, the tracks that speak to me the most, that I just enjoy the most. That does also make it incredibly difficult because obviously there are no tracks on here that are bad. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, and I always want to know your rankings. If you had to do this, where would they land for you? So with that being said, let's go ahead and get in and take a look together. This one, that's the right one. All right, here we go. These are my first notes on it. It's an ambitious album, big orchestral production, some of the best sample work that I've heard. And I personally am a fan of the skits. The skits will not be in here, obviously, but I really enjoy them. Broke, five broke. It's so funny to me. All right, here we go. Number 15 is Celebration. Now, definitely feels like a celebration. They hit that perfectly. It feels like a celebration for completing a very ambitious project. I feel like it's great moving toward the end of the album. Great spirit. Just for me, it's not as strong as the other tracks on the album. So something had to find its way into last. Celebration does that for me. Number 14, we have Late. Now, one of the things I love about this album is I called his pinky up laughing. Ha 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 ha. Kanye's fun, and I enjoy that about him. So love that. The samples on this album are stupid good, as I mentioned. For this one, it's I'll Erase Your Pain by the Whatnots. It's this chill, high-class beat as a good close. It's a great close discussing that he was late, but don't worry because he's finally here. Number 13 for me, some of you might hate me for this, is Hey Mama. Now, I think Hey Mama is a great track, especially if you kind of think about it in retrospect for obviously losing his mom in the years following this album. It captures that warm family gathering sound just like he did in Family Business. And it's so strange because it may be a mixture of the content of the song that does that and ties your brain to it. But I don't know, Family Business and Hey Mama, just the way they're created, they feel like this kind of warm hug, this family vibe. You gotta love a man celebrating his mom, of course. And I'm glad he did get this out when he did. Was able to, I think I even saw in some videos, he sang this or played it for his mom, in the kitchen or something like that. So I do like the track, but it's just a little bit lower on the list for me. Number 12, My Way Home, featuring Common. Now, home is where the hate is a tough and tragic line, because obviously it's a play on, this idea of where home is and stuff, but recognizing home's where the hate is, and this idea of maybe not even wanting to go back home, or this place that you came from, this place that you grew up, that's meant to be a place of care, of love, of joy, but it's where the hate is, it's where the violence is, it's where crime is. And Common always, has these great things that he talks about. The implementation or integration of the sample is disgusting, again, in a good way. Home is Where the Hatred Is by Gil Scott-Heron. Common was perfect. The track, honestly, for me, felt too short, but there's just something about it that just felt like it just lacked this punch for me. So even listening back through it, I'm like, dude, I really love Common on this. How can I put it this far back? But I think for me, there's just something very plain about the whole thing. So number 11 is Gone, featuring Consequence and Cameron. Man, this heavy beat. Another excellent sample used so well. It's Too Late by Otis Redding, which funny enough, Otis Redding right here. I don't know if that's, yeah, It's Too Late's not on this album, but I do have the vinyl here for this The Dock of the Bay. I have not listened to that album. I got it from my grandmother with a stack of other old stuff, and it was just funny because one day I pulled it off the shelf randomly, just saying like, well, one of my new next coming like music makers videos, I really want to learn how to play with tracks. So I was like, let me just grab a random record off the shelf, and I did, and it was Otis Redding. Only to come to find out that I've seen Otis Redding pop up a lot in samples. So that was cool. Consequences verse is hard and fun with his playful voicings. These tense violins are excellent in it, and they just go and go and go. It just feels like they're rapping and rapping and rapping. So that's again, like seeing this at number 11 is so painful, but it's like when you have so many tracks on the album, like something's got to be at 11. That's where it falls for me. Number 10, I have Roses. Now, I think I originally, because I've done a lot of shuffling with this, even after like completing my list and creating this slideshow, I was still just like, oh my gosh, I got to move some things around because I listened back through stuff. And Roses actually was further back for me, and I moved it up. It has one of my favorite lines. I asked the nurse, did you do the research? She asked me, can you sign some t-shirts? Bish, is you smoking reefer? You don't see that we hurt? Like, this track is really excellent in all of that. And it's kind of reminiscent of the subject matter that he speaks about in Pinocchio Story. It's just this like, you don't see that I'm a person. And so anyways, I love that about it. Something about the softness of the delivery is perfect. Patti LaBelle sent the song to another level. The drum, the beat mix is very cool. Bill Withers' sample is soulful. I put it in all caps. The 1977 song Rosie. The only thing that kind of hurts it for me a little bit is the talking style that's present throughout it. Is just, it kind of hurts the replayability for me. And I found the same thing. I can't even remember the name of the track on College Dropout with the really amazing spoken word section that I think is so powerful, so impactful, but when I play it over and over, it kind of loses that for me. So anyways, that's partly why it falls where it does for me. Number 9, Heard 'Em Say featuring Adam Levine, right? I don't feel like I've settled that. One of the things I love about this as the second track on the album, because obviously you have an opening skit, and he's like, Mr. West, Mr. West, Mr. West, like in the bounce into the beat on that. Right there, chef's kiss. Sorry, a little too personal. Is it a tuba that's in it? I don't know. There's this very deep, and I get a lot of hate for not necessarily recognizing certain instruments or whatnot, but hey, I'm musically malnourished, so I'm learning. Let me know if it's a tuba in there. Solid feature from Adam. Bright keys, bright voice against Kanye's deeper tone just gives you this nice, like, layering, almost like a harmonizing to an extent. Great message about pressing through, finding a way, even though life is uncertain at times. And the final 30 seconds of this song, I think, are so fun. And that's one thing that I've seen about Kanye's music is he will do some very interesting things just at the end. Whereas you might carry out whatever prominent beat exists in the track, you'll just carry that out to the end. A lot of times it's almost like he puts as much love and care into the closing of a track as he might into the open or the rest of it, just giving you this little extra thing. And it goes into that tick, 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 tick. I don't even remember exactly, but like the kind of bells. I just love the last 30 seconds for me. Number 8, we got Touch the Sky featuring Lupe Fiasco, who I can't wait to eventually get into Lupe Fiasco and his discography. But it feels like this Vegas Strip song to me. I could just see like being in a limo, going down the strip. You've got the like all the signs and the LEDs reflecting off the car. They're out of the what do you call those things? the sunroof. They're like out of the sunroof with some shades on. You got all the reflections on the shades, and they're just smiling, having a good time. That's what this feels like to me. Big horns, big cymbals, great outro from Lupe's verse. Now let me end my verse right where the horns are. I love little things like that because it also shows me it's not like they're just phoning in these features. You know, he took the time to really understand the track and where it's going and how it's exiting, so to say. Now let me end my verse right where the horns are, and then the horns come in real big. Just really cool for me. Number 7, featuring The Game, we have Crack Music. I know my notes are very small on this one, and this is one of those tracks that I shuffled around a lot and ended up moving higher because I just do enjoy it, and I like kind of smart songwriting as well, these interesting vehicles. And so to use crack music is this incredible premise, this idea of recognizing that in some of their communities where drugs and violence have been the legacies, like, no, we're doing something different. We're creating this crack music, and we're going to, you know, essentially make this idea of the music that's coming out of these scenes more prominent than maybe drugs and violence and things like that. So there's just a lot of really strong lines in this track that's interesting to listen over and over and kind of pick up different things. Number 6, Bring Me Down featuring Brandy. This one was hard for me because I think I had it even higher, like further up toward my favorite, because there's something about this song that I just really love. I love Brandy's voice on it. And it's hard for me to even put into words the musically on this. There's just this kind of darker feel to it while staying very bright. That I don't know, it does something for me. Oh, I had here, dude, Brandy. Insert stank face. So there, let's insert the stank face. The beat and the chord progression with her voice is insane. And then this hard line, your girl don't like me, how long has she been gay? Is just funny. You know, Kanye has lines like that. And it's just like, how could she not like me? And it's funny because it's not even, I don't even know. It's just a great track and some great lines in there. Number 5 is Addiction. And here's where I found it kind of funny as I was listening through this album, because if you know the tracks that are left, several of them are this kind of darker, more, it's not even necessarily chill because it has this great drive and bounce to it. But I found myself very drawn to songs like Addiction. The sample is stupid. My Funny Valentine by Etta James. It's dark. The verse is one of my favorites. Great bounce. Even though the vocals are a little bit raw on it, I still just really love this one. Marina Till has this small part, but is a great addition to it. The voicing, the harmony, it's just so creative. And so that's why this one sits so high for me. Number 4, we have Drive Slow featuring Paul Wall and GLC. It has this like real detective, gangster, mob-like 1920s New York style street feel for me. Gosh, talk about a run-on sentence. It has one of my favorite melodic lines. See, back then, if you had a car. I love when Kanye does stuff like that. And then the slow down section, drive slow, homie. Little creative touches, absolutely perfect. Number 3, I have Gold Digger featuring Lupe Fiasco. Here's one of the things that I think I had to do, because this is one of the songs that I had heard before, maybe not in its entirety, but obviously it was so huge when it came around or came out, and it was hard to exist in the world and not have heard this song. So I had to remove myself from the fact that it's kind of an overplayed track. So my list might even change down the road, but trying to look at it more subjectively versus objectively, or maybe vice versa. I had to remove myself from the idea that it's overplayed and really just listen to the track. Jamie and Kanye, they did it again. The way they chopped Ray Charles' vocals were perfect. It displays Kanye's ability to focus on a theme or a message and just carry it out to perfection. Just every verse, it just keeps moving this idea forward of what it is that he's communicating. And I had this muted brass in the bridge. By that, I mean, it's kind of like further back. It's not super prominent in the track, but just as I listen through it, the composition of this song, the use of the sample, just everything about it is so top notch, which is obviously why it became one of those huge singles. Now, this one might surprise you. Number 2, We Major, featuring Nas and Really Doe. This is it actually Really Doe? Or do I have a typo in here? Uno momento, por favor. Let me just make sure I'm not screwing this up. Yes, okay, Really Doe. This is another track that I shifted around a lot, and I kept going back to it, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude, I got to get this higher. And I ended up moving it to number 2, especially when I see in the comments when people are like, we major. I think that is part of it for me. It is a great tagline. It's like, yeah, we major. And you can use that in so many ways. I'll probably, incorporate into my lingo moving forward for the in crowd. But this greater rap, harder rap showcase from Kanye, I like when he leans into a more intense voice at times. The features are super strong. It's a memorable hook and chorus. It fits the school album theme really well. The singing sections are excellent, and it just has this great bounce. So it falls at number 2 for me. And number 1 is so easy for me personally. Diamonds from Sierra Leone featuring Jay-Z. Now, Jay-Z versus the radio version. The fact that it's hard to choose says a lot. I could have put these in 2 separate tracks. I'm just leaving them in one because either version is perfectly fine for me. They would be in the top spot no matter what. However, the Jay-Z version is actually my favorite of the 2. I love how they're so lyrically different as well, but the beat is peak. Hey, I'm still busy here. Excuse me. The beat is peak. It lands in the sweet spot for me between bright and fun and hard. The sample, Diamonds Are Forever by Shirley Bassey, recorded for the 1971 James Bond film. And what I really love is this intro into Jay-Z's verse. For me, is just mind-blowing. How it kind of leads up, and it's like, hey, what's going on with you and Hove, or you and Jay, or whatever? I can't remember exactly how it says it. You guys okay? And he's like, yup, I'll take it from here. It's just this great boom off ramp into him, and obviously Jay-Z just does what Jay-Z does. One of my favorite sounds on the album, it's almost like this modified horn or electric drum with distortion. So if you listen through it, you could probably pick up on what I'm saying. And I love James Bond as well. Big James Bond fan. I've got several of the old James Bond books. I obviously love the movies. And everything about this song is so masterful, flows so well, hits all the right buttons for me. So that's why it's in the number 1 spot. Okay, all that being said, I would love to know your ratings, even if you don't want to give the top, whatever it is, 15. Give me your top 3, your top 5. Let's have a conversation in the comments. Let me know what you agree with. Let me know what you disagree with. And we'll have a good conversation. But thanks for hanging out with me. I hope to see you in the next one. It's Reetin' Good.